guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing something a little bit different. I am going to do the tattoo tag. Now this is something I've been asked to do a few times. I say a few, about 100. And I don't know why, I just didn't ever think I would ever do it. But here I am. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you guys my tattoos. And that's pretty much it. I have a fair few, so I'm not going to go too in depth at all. And if you want tattoos, great. If you don't like them, you don't need to watch this. Don't worry about it. I won't find you. I won't hunt you down. You can just click off and that's totally fine. I did not really go about it the right way, some might say. I started getting them pretty young. So this, it worked out fine for me, but I don't recommend going and get them if you're under 18. Back when I was 15, it was a long time ago, I'm 23 now, I managed to get tattoos pretty young with a little thing I call fake ID, which I made myself. And it wasn't even really ID, it was literally a card with my photo and my name, but you like made it yourself, and I just put 1990 in the thing and everyone believed me. So yeah. First tattoo I ever got was these little birdie guys on my back. So I was 15 and I went to my mum and dad. I went to my mum and I was like, Mum, I really want this tattoo. I had a picture of these birds and she said to me, if you still want it in 6 months time, then you can go and get it. So I waited 6 months and then I showed her the picture again and I was like, I still want this tattooed, and she says, okay, no problem, on you go. Thinking no one would tattoo a 15-year-old. She was wrong, because they did. So yeah, that's my first tattoo. I think that's a really decent first tattoo, to be honest, because I still really like it. And about 3 or 4 years after I got it done, my mum actually got it traced and she's got it on her other shoulder. So we are connected. The next tattoo I got was, I can't remember. Oh, my foot. How am I going to do this? Oh, I'm covering my toes up because I did my fake tan not very well myself. So right here is like an ivy design, and in the writing it says 17, which is French for 17, which is my lucky number. I actually got the letters first. Don't know where they are. I got the writing first and it was so weird by itself. And then I went to Steven Wrigley at Irezumi and he did my ivy when I was 17. So I still wasn't really allowed tattoos, but I got them anyway. Steven Wrigley at Irezumi, he is my tattoo artist pretty much. He's done most of my tattoos. There's a couple I don't have that are not from him, but he is who's done like my sleeve and my hands and things like that. The next tattoo, what did I get? The next tattoo was this bracelet, which goes right around my wrist and it's got a little crescent moon that comes off it. I just love moons. My mum, again, she is quite a spiritual being and she thinks, and I agree, that the moon has a lot to do with the way we feel, and yeah, it's a bit wacky, but I believe in it. I think the moon's a super powerful thing on this planet, well, not on this planet, but yeah, I really like it. If you can see in here, the feather right here was done and it says Smoke and Feather, which is lyrics to a song. I'm pretty sure everyone's got lyrics to a song if they're very tattooed. It's by Justice, who are a French duo. They're a DJ and I still love them and I still love that song. The start of my sleeve was my little gypsy right here. I actually worked with a girl who got a gypsy done in the same place as me. She got it done before me and I saw it and I was like, man, that is gorgeous. I absolutely love it. And I've got the kind of reef around it with the rose. My tattoo artist Steven, again, he drew this up for me and did it for me. So it's not the same as that girl's by any means at all, but she did inspire me to get this gypsy lady. The next tattoo I got was this one right here. It is a hand mirror with a skull reflection, and I got the two roses done at the same time around the mirror. I absolutely love this tattoo. It's one of my favourites for sure. I just think it's absolutely beautiful, and it was a little bit inspired by the fact I do makeup. I had a hand mirror similar to this. Then I got my Candelabra, which is just here. It was pretty cool because the actual candles, it was right next to the feather, which says Smoke and Feather. So we did a little bit kind of wisps of smoke. The candelabra goes into 3 different sections and then there's 3 different candles, and then on the back I have my ram skull, which is actually my favourite tattoo that I've got, and I never flip and see it because it's on my back, on the back of my arm. And it has a cool little gem here, which I really love. Next after that, I got my crystal ball with the hand holding it, and she's got a little kind of ruffled sleeve, kind of sticking with the kind of gypsy theme almost. And then around that we've just got this kind of stuff as a filler. This is just to, it's like power coming from the crystal ball, and that it was just to kind of make it kind of fill my whole arm almost. To kind of finish off my sleeve. I am fully aware that I have this big missing section up here, but I must say that was the sorest bit to get tattooed ever. I remember when he was finishing off up here, I was like, you need to stop. You need to stop right now because this is agony. It was unbelievable. It was so sore, but I got through it. After I kind of finished off my sleeve, I always wanted my hands tattooed, always, even before I got any done when I was younger. I used to always kind of want something on my hands. It was just something that I thought was so beautiful and really cool. So I finally got my bee. So this is my little bee. He is beautiful. He doesn't have a name. I've struggled to give him a name, but he's got a ruby encrusted in his back, which I actually thought was super sweet because one of my best friends, Cara, had a baby and her name is Ruby, so I love it. And then I've got the little flowers right around it, which I love. What are you doing? Drogba, Drogba, come on, come here. I really want a Drogba tattoo. I really want a Drogba tattoo. I want your big face, your beautiful big face. Then I got my design here, which is kind of heavily inspired by Mendy. Other people call it henna. I think it's so stunning. I used to do makeup on a lot of women who had henna done for weddings and things like that, and I always just thought it was so gorgeous. So it's almost like a little bit inspired by Scottish as well because there's paisley pattern in there. It's just like a little custom design on my mitt. And then the latest addition to my body is my finger tattoos. So I got my fingers tattooed about 2 weeks ago. They are already pretty faded, but that's because I maybe picked them just a little bit. I'm really sorry, Steven, if you're listening to this. But I absolutely love them. They are just quite, I don't know, they're just quite, it's like a little design, eh? It's just like a little design. I just really like the idea of having them all over my fingers. I know a lot of people just get their knuckles done and it's words, but honestly I didn't want to get words because I knew that I would get sick of them. I didn't know what 2 4-letter words I wanted, so I just got the designs, just a little bit of art on my fingers, you know. My fingers do create art after all. Oh, and I forgot one. On my little hip, oh god, I'm gonna have to go on my tiptoes, I have a little moon. I have a little man in the moon. I don't know why I got that. I was 17. That is not a current tattoo whatsoever. I was 17 and I got my little moon man. I just thought he was really cute, and I like the whole man in the moon and that story. Now I showed you all my kind of semi-appropriate tattoos, I'm going to show you some ones that I do regret, which were a mistake. This right here is a broken arrow. You'll see that the arrow has no head. I got this done in Ibiza when I went with my friends when I was 18, and it's my pointing finger, so I got an arrow to point at things. Yeah, that was bad. But I also got the same trip to the tattoo studio. I got a diamond behind my ear, which I think about 1 million people have, and I think it was quite heavily influenced by Shine Bright Like a Diamond, the wonderful Rihanna's lyrics. Yeah. So that's part of my body. Last but not least, and I don't know if all my family knows that I've got this, my mum and dad definitely do. If you guys have ever seen Jack, my boyfriend, he is very heavily tattooed himself, and at one point he had a tattoo kit so he could practice, so he had like the skins and stuff like that so he could practice tattooing. And one night he got the tattoo gun out and we thought this was a really good idea. We thought it was going to be really fab, and I actually have a tattoo on the inside of my lip and it says swag. Well, it used to say swag. I don't even know what it says now. I think at one point it did say slag. As for pain, I think I've got a high pain tolerance, but I can tell you where it was kind of okay and where it was agony. So up here on my arm was totally fine, but I was there for a long time to get her finished, so that was kind of sucky. Honestly, all of my whole arm was fine apart from my inside of my arm here and my elbow as well. I've got them both covered. Elbow was not as bad as you'd think, but when I went in to see Steven and we were talking about it, I was like, I do not want the inside of my arm done or my elbow. Let's just miss those out. I'm not trying to be a tough person, I just don't want that to happen. And yet here I am, he just decided that I was a liar. Honestly, the most painful was my fingers. That was the worst thing I've ever been through in my entire life. I don't have any on my body, on my stomach. I keep on saying that if I hone up or lose a bit of weight or I'm happy with my body, then I will get it tattooed, but that keeps on not happening either. I love food, I love cheese and I love dairy and I love stuff, I love eating everything. This is me at the moment, and I am super happy with all my tattoos, most of them, apart from a couple. Thank goodness this is on the inside of my lip. No one would ever know unless I said it, and now I've said it to the entire internet, which is really clever. For aftercare, I like to, if it's possible, my fingers I couldn't do this with, I just use Bepanthen on my tattoos. This is nappy rash cream, baby butt cream, and it just heals them really well. What I like to do as well is I like to keep them wrapped. So what I would do is I would go home from getting the tattoo done, leave it for a couple hours, and then take the cling film off. They always kind of cling film tattoos unless it's your fingers or whatever. Take that off, rinse it with warm water in a mild soap, then put Bepanthen on it, not a thick layer at all, just enough to cover the entire tattoo, and then wrap it. And what I would do is I would maybe change my wraps twice a day before I go to sleep, when I wake up. And that just means that it stays super goopy and it doesn't really scab. And then after about 3 or 4 days of doing that, I'll let the air get to it, and it heals so well. So all my tattoos are colourful, and they've honestly all healed great. I obviously wear fake tan, or I get a tan as well. I am out in the sun and stuff if it appears here. But when I'm on holiday, I do tan. I like to sit out in the sun. So my tattoos are faded into my skin a lot, but I like that. Again, it's personal preference, and I think that when the colours are all kind of dulled down with a tan, it's my favourite thing ever. Do not recommend getting tattooed if you're on your period. The pain is a lot worse. Every time I go for a tattoo, I have a bottle of orange Lucozade to stay hydrated, and then the sugar stops me from ever feeling sick. If I'm there for a long time especially, I'll just kind of swig my Lucozade and that keeps me going. Always eat before you get a tattoo, and don't get them done if you're under 18. Pot, kettle, black. I hope you guys like this video, a little bit different I know. Do let me know if you would like to see more videos like this, if you would like me to take you with me. The next time I get a tattoo done, I can vlog it, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!